Welcome back to my new video in this my YouTube video, and here I will make a speech video. It will be a long speech maybe for you. I made this video for my midterm test and introduction to literary studies. And the topic here is about the cause, the implication, and my recommendation to eradicate racism in America toward Black Americans. And let's get to the topic. So, today, as I told before, I want to talk about a critical issue that continues to affect millions of Americans: racism against Black Americans. A recent poll highlighted in the Washington Post revealed some deeply troubling statistics. According to the poll, 87% of Black Americans believe that they face discrimination in America today. This is a stark reminder that despite progress, racism remains a pervasive and destructive force in our society. Not only that, discussing a recent article from the Washington Post, I also get the information about the racism against Black Americans in Brookings institution entitled Black Progress: How Far We Have Come and How Far We Have to Go. This article provides a comprehensive look at the progress that has been made in advancing racial equality for Black Americans, as well as the challenges that still remain. The article highlights several areas where significant progress has been made in improving the lives of Black Americans. For example, there has been a significant increase in educational attainment among Black Americans, with more Black Americans earning college degrees than ever before. Additionally, the article notes that the Black middle class has grown substantially over the past few decades, providing greater economic stability and opportunities for many Black families. So, despite that, the article also highlights several areas where disparities persist. For example, Black Americans still face higher rates of poverty and employment compared to white Americans. Additionally, Black Americans are disproportionately impacted by issues such as mass incarceration and police brutality, highlighting the continued presence of systemic racism in our society. So, next is about the cause of this racism in America. Racism against Black Americans has deep historical roots, stemming from centuries of slavery, segregation, and systemic discrimination. This history has created a legacy of inequality that continues to impact Black Americans today. From unequal access to equality education and healthcare to disparities in employment and housing, the effects of racism are far-reaching and profound. The implications of racism on Black Americans are devastating. It not only affects their opportunities and quality of life, but also takes a toll on their mental and physical health. The constant stress of experiencing racism, known as racial trauma, can lead to higher rates of anxiety, depression, and other mental health issues among Black Americans. Additionally, the lack of representation and recognition of their contributions perpetuates feelings of marginalization and erasure. all over that the things or the information that I have been delivered before, here is my recommendation to eradicate racism. I'm sorry. To eradicate racism against Black Americans, we must first acknowledge and confront the systemic nature of racism. This requires a comprehensive approach that addresses both individual biases and institutionalized discrimination. First, education and awareness. Promote education and awareness about the history and impact of racism. These include teaching accurate and inclusive history in schools and promoting diversity and inclusion in all aspects of society. The next is policy reform. Implement policies that address systemic racism, such as criminal justice reform, equitable access to healthcare and education, and initiatives to promote economic empowerment in Black communities. The third is community engagement. Foster dialogue, and understanding between different communities to promote empathy and reduce prejudice. This includes supporting community-led initiative and promoting diverse representation in media and cultural institutions. The last is advocacy and allyship. Stand up against racism and advocate for change in your communities and workplaces. Use your voice and privilege to support marginalized communities and promote equality and justice for all. To eradicate racism in America toward Black Americans, we need to challenge the policies that perpetuate this systemic racism, such as redlining and discriminatory hiring practices. We need to engage in dialogue and action that addresses the racial prejudice and racism at the individual, community, and institutional levels. We need to educate ourselves and our communities about the history of racism in America and the ways in which it continues to impact Black Americans today. We need to support and uplift Black business and communities and advocate for reparations in the form of educational, business, and home ownership assistance. In conclusion, eradicating racism against Black Americans requiring a collective effort from all of us. By acknowledging effort from all of us, by acknowledging the root causes of racism, understanding the implication, and taking concrete action to address it, we can create a more just and equitable society for future generations. So that's all I can say about today's video about the Black racism toward the Black Americans, and see you in the next video, and have a good day, all.
And you guys, I have an additional information or additional advice for all of us. As humans, it is our moral imperative to stand against all forms of racism, including racism against Black individual or anything, or Asian hate or anything. We must actively promote empathy, understanding, and solidarity across all communities, recognizing that diversity is a strength to be celebrated rather than a source of division. By educating ourselves and others, fostering inclusive environments, and advocating for equitable policy and practices, we can work towards a future where every individual, regardless of race, is treated with the dignity, respect, and equality they deserve. Together, we can build a more just and compassionate society for all.